Okay, very good morning to all. We are continuing topic gene regulation. In our previous lecture, we have observed how the gene regulation is important component because so many genes are there. Genes are activated, all genes are expressed that will create a ambiguity as far as cell management is concerned. And already discussed with you that the cell, particularly bacterial cell, is very smart, very intelligent. Depending on the environmental condition, the whatever things which are needed that are expressed only. Then we also get introduced with one important concept, that is operon. This concept is due to the discovery of the dioxy phenomena occurred in E. coli. And in E. coli, if we give the E. coli cell lactose and glucose at a time, means within a nutrient medium, if the glucose and lactose both are present, then E. coli cells systematically, preferably utilize glucose first, and later on, when the glucose is exhausted, then the lactose is degraded. This is a very different kind of behavior. Why? How the cell trace out that the first should utilize the glucose and later on lactose. And for getting the explanation regarding this phenomena, a operon concept is proposed by the Jacob and Monod. And in the operon is actually the cluster, actually the bunch of the closely associated genes, but it consists of the two important types of gene. One type of genes consists of the regulatory regions, okay, and another is the structural genes. Regulatory region consists of the regulator region, promoter, operator. In that, promoter is already known to you. During transcription, we have seen that the promoter is the binding site for the RNA polymerase, which is present on the DNA. Whatever regulator, promoter, and operator, these are all are the locations. Okay, actually, regulator is regulator synthesizing thing. Okay, so these particular things are present on the DNA. We are talking with respect to the DNA only. Actually, we have to start the topic lac operon. There are several operons we have to study. First is lac operon, another is the tryptophan operon, and third is the arabinose operon. But prior to clear this particular concept of the operon, a general mechanism of how operons are working, for that getting clarity, several points are important. So as far as operons are concerned, it consists of the inducible system and repressible system. Inducible system means in presence of inducer, that particular genes are expressed. Okay, means expression of gene is inducer dependent. Okay, while in another case a repressal, actually whenever the expression is takes place, it is referred as the induction. I already given this both terminology. When the transcription takes place, it is referred as the induction. When there is no transcription, that is the repression. The phenomena which is promoted or the executed due to the inducer is the induction, and the phenomena due to the repressor is the repressor. Okay, repressor, and one more term is there that in yesterday's lecture I have to explain you, but keep in mind there are two things: repression, feedback repression, and feedback inhibition. So whenever I am talking regarding repression, always keep in mind that I am talking with respect to the DNA. Repression means what? The something is get bound to the DNA, and then the this particular RNA is not synthesized. Hence, for repression phenomena always takes place at the level of DNA. While another terminology you might know regarding to the inhibition, generally we refer it as a feedback inhibition or inhibition. The inhibition is at a protein level, at a structural level. Several proteins possesses the allosteric site. To that allosteric site, something binds allosteric blocking or uh, this particular allosteric site modifying protein or any component is get added. Due to this, what happens? The structural distortion takes place as far as enzyme is concerned. and henceforth the enzyme stops its activity. So this particular phenomena is inhibition. Means inhibition is a feedback inhibition is at a protein level and feedback repression is at a genetic level. Both are important because in first case what happens, the RNA is not synthesized. If the RNA is not available, then protein will not synthesize. In second case what happens, proteins are already synthesized, but still they are under control due to the several mechanisms, and that among the feedback repression and feedback inhibition, which phenomena you find that which might be the economical one for the cell? Okay, you can give the answer in chat box also if you are facing the difficulties. Otherwise, you can discuss with me. But my question is that which is the economical phenomena, whether the feedback repression is economical or the feedback inhibition is economic. Yes, Chanchal. You have to get yes, and they are given a two choice. Wrong answers are always given. Yes.
Repression.
Why? Suppose if I say that you are
Sir,
hmm?
yes.
Okay, feedback repression or repression phenomena is always economical because if the repression takes place, then RNA is not synthesized, proteins are not synthesized, majority of ATPs are saved. But suppose these are already synthesized and then later on it is controlled, then when RNA is also synthesized, means something is produced. First step RNA is synthesized, then protein is synthesized, and then it gets stopped. But already the energy is utilized in form of transcription and the translation. Hence, your answer is correct that the reparation is the economical phenomena. But still, there are so many situations comes as far as metabolisms are concerned. Hence, in true sense, both the phenomena has equal importance. Even the feedback inhibition is also important because many times what happens when the product in excess accumulate, it restrict the activity of a first enzyme of that particular sequence. Because you might know that in metabolism there are several steps, several systematic enzymes are one by one converting nucleic acid. And when the last product is synthesized, this last product has capability to bound to the first enzyme, and depending on means immediately that concentration is lowered, then immediately enzymes are ready and all these particular once again going to function, and hence for both the phenomena are the important, but your answer is correct that the economically this is. So this I am explaining regarding to the first thing. This is the just typical operon. I already given the definition that operon consists of the structural genes. Okay, structural genes. What happens in case of a bacteria? The DNA or the gene is the polycistronic. Polycistronic means so many cistrons are associated close to each other. And in case of eukaryotic, it is a monocistronic. I'll also explain
Monocyst.
this particular concept when we are going to study the lacoperon. Now, here keep in mind these are the structural genes and this is the promoter. Then just close to the promoter there is another side that is referred as the regulator binding. Now, this is generally in general sense it is referred as the operator. Okay, that operator a repressor can bound. Okay, means the location on the DNA to which RNA has affinity, it is promoter. The location on a DNA which is closely associated with the promoter to which a repressor can bound, it is operator. Now, in these inducible systems, what happens? A regulatory gene, regulator gene is there. It might be closely associated with it, or it is might be away from it. So this regulator gene is expressed. Generally, many time, majority of times, regulatory genes is a constitutive gene. I already given the meaning of constitutive genes means without induction. Along with the cell growth, it is by default it is produced. It is not under control anything. Hence, for a normal condition, this repressor is synthesized. Now, the repressor has an affinity to bound to this particular operator region. That is also referred as the regulator protein binding. And normally, this particular repressor is bound, and this is now what happens when it get bound to the operator. it occupies the major portion. It also occupies the several portion of the promoter. Or actually, whenever the DNA RNA polymer is bound to the promoter, it also needs a lot of space. Beyond the promoter, also it requires the space. But what happens here? The repressor is now bound to the operator, and that not made available any site. RNA polymerase, although has affinity for the promoter, but this particular thing is get blocked. Okay, actually it is not bind to the promoter, but it is associated with the operator. But still, the much more space is there, and in such a situation, RNA polymerase can't bound as this repressor is bound first and then RNA polymerase later on synthesized, and but it can't bound, and henceforth these particular structural genes are never expressed. Henceforth there is a block to the transcription, okay, due to the repressor. But suppose if you have added the inducer, if you have added the inducer, due to the addition of inducer, what happens? The inducer generally different kind of definitions are there. I will also explain later on. But inducer have affinity for the repressor. Okay, in this case, this inducer has the complementary structure with the repressor. And suppose if normally just cell grows, the regulatory gene expresses this particular repressor. Now, suppose if inducer is present, okay, the inducer has affinity for this repressor, and due to this binding, what happens? This particular structure is get modified, and due to this binding, it is not available for the binding to the operator. Now this particular portion is a free, and to this particular portion RNA polymerase can freely bound, easily bound, and then it starts transcription. Means in conclusion, I can say that the if the inducer is not there, then there is no transcription. If I added the inducer, then there is a transcription. Whether the transcription should be happen or not, that is totally decided by the inducer. An inducer is many times environmentally sent molecule. That this depends. Many times this is very systematic logic done by the at a molecular level by the cell that we are more get cleared during the lab operon. And suppose just keep in mind that what is the repressor, what is the inducer, what happens to inducer. Here in this case, inducer has affinity for this. Okay, this is also happen as far as our normal life style is concerned. For example, this repressor has affinity for this particular operator also, and the repressor has affinity for the inducer also. But it has a more affinity for the inducer, and so if the inducer is available, then it is not available. It is just like you also have the priority. You are with somebody A is with walking with the friend B, but meanwhile, friend C is coming there. He leaves the friend B because affinity to the of A to the C is more there, and so he says to B that the excuse me, I have the task with the friend C, and A and C combination takes place. Such things happen in this case, and this is referred as the negative control because here the repressor molecule's presence is stopping the expression. Then another is the inducible system, means inducer's need is there, but it is a positive control. In positive control, here what happens? A regulator gene is not producing the repressor. Instead of that, it producing the activator. But what is the problem of that activator? Activator is a inactive. Okay. In order to get activity, it should be the bound to the active. Now it is produced normally. Although it is produced, but already I have given that it is inactivated activator. Activator, the term activator in former case, the term repressor. Why we are given that particular protein as a repressor molecule? Because it suppresses the transcription. It repress the transcription. Hence the repressor. Here activator name you are given. Why? Because it has a positive role. It activates the RNA polymerase and the promoter binding for the because RNA polymerase and the promoter binding is should be also enhanced by the several factors, and activator is one of them. Now in normal case what happens, the activator is produced, means it has a positive effect, but what happens, it is present in an inactive form, it is not active. For the activity it should be modified structure, and that modification of structure is once again done by the inducer, many times extraneous factor. Okay, means in normal case what happens, inactive activator is generated, synthesized, but it can't bound. Why? It is inactive one, hence it does not have a typical conformation it will bind. Okay, now if activator is not available, RNA polymerase also not have affinity to bound. Okay, means two things are important in order to RNA polymerase bound. Repressor should not there in first case, and second thing is that there should be the presence of the activator. But what is the problem of activator? Activator, although it is available, but it is not in functional state. Now what happens here? In this case, suppose if inducer is added, then inducer already, I know that I given the idea that inducer has the affinity for the this activator. Now, due to the binding to this particular activator, to this inducer and activator protein, the inactive activator becomes the active now. So there is a structural conformation takes place and it active. Now it get bound. Due to this active activator, RNA polymerase is now bound to the promoter. Okay, and once the promoter is get paired with this particular RNA polymerase, then transcriptions start. Now here, a presence of inducer is important, hence it is referred as the inducible system. Why it is referred as a positive control? Because whatever component which is synthesized, it is as a positive role. In former case, it has a negative role. Repressor has a negative role. Here it is a activator. But the whether it is a repressor or whether it is activator, the role played by inducer, the activators and repressors activity is controlled by the inducer. Hence, both the systems are referred as a inducible system. Then the next, repressible system. Okay, and in first we are going to discuss the negative. In repressor, what happens? Regulator protein is get synthesized. Okay, but this naked repressor cannot bind to the regulator binding protein. Okay, the regulator gene produces the repressor, no doubt it is produced, but here it is in a inactive form. The conformation is not, as it is as not a typical configuration conformation, hence it can't bind to there. As it is not bind, then RNA polymerase got the space to get bound, and hence for the promoter is now get paired with RNA polymerase and transcription takes place. Okay, but suppose if you added another molecule, that is a co-repressor. Now in former case what happens, a inducer is needed, here it is a co-repressor. When the co-repressor is there, means when this particular thing, although it is regulator protein is express this particular gene, but these proteins can't have ability to block this transcription continues. But due to the co-repressor, addition of co-repressor, that co-repressor has affinity for the regulator protein, it bind to here, and there is a structural conformation, structural changes are there, and such a modified, and in other sense it is active now, such a modified active state is get affinity for the operator, and it blocks these things just like a first thing. And hence RNA polymerase means presence of a co-repressor is responsible to repress the thing, hence it is a repressible system. Okay, and in that sense this particular negative control off. Now, another is the repressible system to the positive control. What happens here? Here the regulator gene express the active activator. Okay, and hence when it is synthesized, it is active and it is going to bound. Okay. Now, always keep in mind that whenever the activator is there, the activator is bound to this particular promoter region. Promoter RNA polymerase activators are generally smaller as far as the size is concerned. So the space occupation is not mediated by means of active activator. Now, normally the this particular regulator protein produces this particular molecule active P activator, and which have affinity for the binding to the this region. Now, due to this binding, RNA polymerase also bound because the presence of activator is always promote the RNA polymerase, and hence in presence of such activator, a transcription takes. But suppose if the co-repressor is added, the co-repressor has also ability to bound to the active, and due to the binding of this co-repressor to the this active activator, it inactivate the things. As it get inactivated, then it is not available to bound. As it is not available to bound, then RNA polymerase also can't bound. Okay. Henceforth, activators are in favor of transcription, repressors are opposing the transcription, and by this particular circuit mechanism, cell controls majority of metabolic reactions. Okay. How it happens with the case of lack of operon, that we are going to discuss. Once these four concepts are known to you, once again I am going to revise. First is inducible system. In this, inducer is required. In another, inducer is required, but it is a positive control. In another system, there instead of inducer, a co-repressor is there, and depending on the co-repressor, either system is get switched off or switched on. That's all regarding to the very general mechanism as per as the operon functioning is concerned. Okay. As far as the operon function is concerned, four models are there. Inducible systems, two model, positive and negative control, and repressible systems, positive and negative controls. Now, this is the actually the lag of operon. Here, whatever understanding you are developed in a previous talk, that might get more clarity as far as this lag of operon is concerned. The first thing you keep in mind that the lag operon is present in case of E. coli chromosome. Okay, there are several genes are there within that. One particular region is there that is referred as the lag operon. The word lag is abbreviation of a lactose. Okay. Actually, the naming system is not giving that whether this particular operon is associated with the degradation or a synthesis. It is not clear. Okay. But this is general practice. Whatever gene which are associated either in a degradation or a synthesis, these are referred as with respect to that particular component. As a lag operon, whatever lag operon we are going to discuss, it is the consist of the genes which are responsible to utilize the lactose sugar. You might aware that the lactose is a disaccharide. This is the typical structure of a lactose. Okay, it consists of the galactose and glucose. The for cutting this particular first bond, beta galactosidase is needed. There are three enzymes are required for the synthesis for the degradation of this lactose. Okay, so that one by one we are going to. But this is the metabolic part. This lactose is degraded into the these two sugars, and these two sugars are then later on degraded by the systematic glycolysis pathway. Henceforth, beta galactosidase is the one of the important. This is just for the interest. Actually, we are learning the genetics preference. The diagrams, the typical metabolic reactions are not expected here, just for the satisfying the curiosity. Here, this lag operon consists means within a E. coli circular DNA, a small part is there that consists of the several region. First is the lag I. Okay. Another is the P means the promoter. Another closely associated is the operator. Okay. And that is followed by the structural gene. The first gene is referred as the lag Z. Another second gene is referred as the lag Y. And last third gene is the lag A. Lag Z codes for the beta galactosidase. Lag Y codes for the beta galactoside permease. And lag A is the beta galactoside transacetylase. Suppose the cell has to degrade, cell has to utilize the lactose for the energy generation purpose, it should produce these three enzymes. Without these three enzymes, lactose can't be degraded. Beta galactosidase, beta galactoside permease, and beta galactoside transacetylase. These are the for the metabolic modifications are there, and while beta galactoside permease is required for the transportation of lactose inside the cell, because permeation is also necessary. So this particular region which consists of the lag I, P, O, this is the considered as a regulatory region. Okay, this is the regulatory region. This is the control region. Actually, this is the essential part. Without promoter operator, the gene is not a gene, because then and then it will be. Okay. Now, as the lag Z, lag Y, lag A, these are the sequentially present here, and these are the three different genes, and these are coupled to the one central mechanism, regulatory mechanism, and all have the same promoter. It is not like that. The for the lag Z, another promoter is there. For the lag Y, it is another. No. Once the RNA polymerase bound to this promoter, at a time the three mRNAs are synthesized, then these are get cut, and then from that the translation three enzymes are generated. Henceforth, it is referred as the prokaryotic mRNA is the polycistronic. Why? Because it consists of one, two, three, more than one genes are there under control of the promoter. This particular feature is referred as the polycistronic. While in case of eukaryotic, what happens? They are the monocistronic, means one promoter, one gene, one promoter, one gene. In that way, it is expressed. That's all regarding to the clarification. Once again, I'm using the operator. Operator is the region on the DNA to which the repressor can bind. Promoter, already know the RNA polymerase binding site, and repressor is the protein molecule. Okay, from this LAC-I, the mRNA synthesized, and from that mRNA, the translation system produces the protein that is referred as the repressor. Okay, so from this particular repressor you can trace out it is a repressible system is associated with the lag. Now a more clarity is given here. The same thing is happen here. Generally the base pairs are shown here. Even several books have give thorough information regarding operator, and as far as operator is concerned, it consists of the O1, O2, O3. These are the sub regions are there. They are also map means for the this PI lac operation operon. This is the 17 base pairs are there. Then 1040 base pairs are there involved in the lac operation. For the beta galactosidase, this typical number of base pairs are associated. That also gives the idea that what kind of structural complexity they have. Same thing is that. Okay. So this is the okay, very easy for the keep in mind IPO, IPO, ZYA, IPO, GIA. If you keep in mind, that will not make mistake, because sequence is very much important. I means repressor region, P means promoter, operator, lag Z, beta galactosidase, lag Y, and galactoside permease, and lag A, galactoside trans. Now, first we are going to discuss regarding the negative regulation, because repressor is involved means the it is a repressible system. So what happens in this case? This is the I, lac I. The lac I produces lac I produces the mRNA, from that a repressor protein. Already given that idea, the repressor has the ability to bound to the operator. Now, normally as cell grows, this is under the constitutive response. It is a constitutive change in the repressor molecule synthesized, and then it get blocked to the operator. Now, you should know that whenever the repressor bound to the this particular thing, then it is promoter region is not available. Okay, for the binding to the RNA polymerase. Okay, and hence no uh, ZYA lac A gene will be synthesized. Why? Because RNA polymerase can't bind. But what happens? Suppose if I added the inducer. Now, what is the inducer in this case? Inducer is a lactose itself. Okay. In this case, lactose is itself induced. Suppose in the medium, if inducer is present, lactose is present, then lactose is get bound. Lactose have affinity to the repressor, and once it is bound to this, then due to this binding to this inducer or lactose to the repressor, there is a structural modification takes place, and henceforth it can't remain bound to this particular thing. How it is happening? Okay. Here mRNA produces, and then the inducer repressor is produced, and if the inducer is available, due to the presence of inducer, it blocks the things, and henceforth this particular repressor will not capable to bound to the operator, and henceforth the RNA polymerase. Here you can see the picture that RNA polymerase occupied a lot of structure. Even it occupies the operator regions also. Now, as there is a no repressor, why repressor is absent here? Because it is already blocked by the inducer. And now, RNA polymerase bound here and then start the transcription, lag Z, lag Y, lag A. Once the transcript is produced, then the enzymes are also produced, and these enzymes are now available for the utilization of a sugar. So this particular thing is happening. Means for the expression of a lactose degrading gene, presence of lactose is necessary. Suppose if you imagine that the lactose is absent. If lactose is absent means inducer is not available. If inducer lactose is not available means repressor will be produced and will block. And as it is blocking, there is no lactose. Means already in medium lactose is not there, then there is no point to produce the three enzymes which is degrading the lactose. Hence lactose itself controlling its gene production, gene expressions. Okay, as far as this lack of repressor, this particular molecule, there are several features are also given in several books. The lac repressor is the activated, it has a specific bounding, it has affinity for the operator already given. The repressor of a lactose operon is also referred as a lac repressor. It is a tetramer made up of four peptides and identical, all are same, and each consists of the 37 kilodalton molecular weight. So these are the tetramers. Okay, each has the binding site for the inducer. The repressor has the two sides. One side is for the binding to the repressor and another side is the binding side for the operator. Suppose if the inducer is absent, then the repressor is bind to the DNA operator. But if this particular inducer is available, then it will not going to bound. If the lactose is present, repressor will not going to bound. Why? Because due to the lactose binding to the lac repressor, it is going to modify. Now, as far as the operator region is concerned, these recognize the sequence 28 nucleotide base pair sequence, which is present in case of a operator region, that is recognized by this. But it might be recognized, it can be utilized for the binding purpose only in absence of a inducer. Whenever the inducer or whenever the lactose is absent, then and then this particular binding is takes. So that's all regarding to the negative control. Why negative control? Because of the involvement of repressor. I already given the idea that the presence of repressor in system is always against the transcription. If the repressor is available, it is against the transcription, and due to the inducer, it get blocked, and then enzymes are synthesized. And if inducer is not there, enzymes are not synthesized. In that way, a lactose operon is working in under the negative control, under the influence of repressor, and here in this case lactose itself decides that the whether the this particular thing, enzymes are which are required, whether they should be expressed or not. That's all regarding lac operon. Next point, that is the positive regulation. How the activators are also important, because one question is known to you, why the in presence of lactogene may, but still our basic question is not known. If the glucose is also available in lactose is also available, lactose available, enzymes will be produced. Okay, but in Dio's experiment what we found, that the until and unless glucose is not exhausted, then the lacto means whenever the glucose is present in the medium, then also the lactose utilizing enzymes are not expressed. Hence for the uh, complete utilization of glucose is necessary. How this particular presence of glucose influence, how the exhaustion of glucose is necessary for the lac operon expression, that we are going to discuss in the positive regulation. Why it is referred as a positive? Because it involves the activators. In former case, just whatever discuss negative control. Why it is referred as negative control? Because there is a influence by the repressor. In next lecture, we are going to talk regarding the positive regulation of a lac operon. If you have any question regarding to the this particular negative control lac operon, which is influenced by the repressor and inducer, your questions are welcome.
I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Sir, is there any effect of operon on or off on replication of that gene segment?
No, no. Replication is a totally different phenomenon. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Timing is
Is
different.
there any effect?
How?
Hmm.
Still, I'm not getting your question.
Is there any effect if operator is bind on the gene segment of from operator site of the operon?
Hmm.
then is there any hurdle to the replication machinery?
Okay, whenever the replication is going on, at that time, these molecules are available in very less concentration. Okay, and actually everything is associated with the affinity. Means normally this particular repressor is going to bound to the operator, and meanwhile a replication comes. That replications doesn't recognize these things. It just recognizes the two strands, separate it, and then synthesize. Okay, and once they have taken the chance, taken in charge of that particular DNA, the remaining thing is automatically dissociated. Okay, because for the binding, typical two double stranded structure is necessary. This particular repressor can't bound to the single strand. Means once it is a replication always have the priority. If it is going here, just like a train. Okay. In absence of a train, you can cross this particular railway track. But whenever the train is going at that time, nobody. Even if you are not obey the rule, and if you try to enter, the train will given the have a priority, and it will distract the thing. There will not much more matter that whether the somebody is there or not there. Similarly, the replication is the prime importance thing, and this is generally when the cell is active, maintaining its physiological role. Okay, at that time timing is different, and henceforth in that sense it is not interfering, and replication is always have the priority. Okay, it has its own things, and at that time the role of these particular things are becomes secondary. Means although whether it is bound or not bound, still it will automatically remain detached, and they will not going to affect this particular thing. Yes, any other
Got
question? Okay, then, if you don't have any question, this is a very interesting topic I found. This is the lack of iron is one of the important topic, and along with that, one C1 repressor in case of lysogeny maintenance in the viruses. That is also interesting topic. Once you get the clarity as far as these concepts are concerned, that also gives the meaning that you develop a good understanding as far as molecular biology is concerned. Because until and unless you not know the replication, transcription, translation, gene regulation can be properly understood. And so, these are very interesting in that sense. Even in majority of competitive examination, I find many times question on this particular part, like Cochrane or this human replacement. Therefore, apply your full concentration and try to understand this particular topic. Actually, this is very simple topics also, but without logic, if we try to understand just by observing the diagrams and reading continuously, that will not solve the problem. You have to apply the systematic understanding that will solve your problem. Okay, that's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow, and at that time we are going to discuss regarding to the lack occurrence positive control. Okay, goodbye.